Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is going to be my first video reviewing a LEGO Star Wars set I recently purchased, the Sith Infiltrator. Alright, so here is the box. The set comes with 662 pieces, ages 9 to 14. Personally, I really wanted this set because I am a huge fan of Darth Maul and I really like the way it looks. I know in the past it came under a little bit of controversy because of the price standpoint, around $90 retail for the amount of pieces it came with, but I got it for around $78 on Bricklink, so I thought that was worth the buy, especially for how long I've wanted this set. Moving on to the minifigures, and then starting off with my favorite, Darth Maul, coming with these cool Zabrak horns that LEGO added. I really like those. He also comes with a hood, you know, if he's riding around in his speeder or just flying, just chilling, you know, scouting some people out, killing some people, you know, whatever Darth Maul does. We don't see much of him in the movie. And he also has this cloak, which is one of the firmer textures that LEGO uses for cloaks and capes and whatnot. Really cool minifigure. You can interchange between the horns and the hood if you want. If I take the horns off right here, put his hood on, you know, that's kind of what he looks like. He does actually come with back printing, which I really appreciate because it's just a little extra detail, if you can see that. Overall, really solid minifigure in my opinion, and he looks really menacing and cool. Moving on to the second minifigure of the set, Qui-Gon Jinn. Pretty basic minifigure, except for the cloak that they added. It is of a softer cloth than the Darth Maul cape. On the back, I think his hair looks really good. I think they did a good job, and I think they did a really good job of making his face look like Liam Neeson's. I don't know why, but to me, it just, that little smirk he has going looks a lot like what Liam Neeson would do. Speaking of his face, he does have a reverse side to his face, which is a little angry, probably his fighting face, I'd say, and a bit of back printing, which is a nice touch, especially since he is wearing a cloak that covers it all, nice and detailed. Carrying his normal green lightsaber that we all know. Pretty solid minifigure in my opinion. Moving on to the third minifigure of the set, R2-D2. You know, just standard R2-D2. I read somewhere that he isn't actually the classic R2-D2, but I mean, I think he looks great. Can't really go wrong with R2-D2. No back printing, but printing all around the head. You know, solid minifigure. You know, never my favorite when I was a kid, but he always adds a little something to a set, especially because of how iconic he is. Alrighty, moving on to the fourth character of the set, Watto. Pretty interesting looking guy. You know, not my favorite character from the movies, but he definitely adds a little something, especially because he's just, you know, different. He's not like a basic, bland character. He comes with this head mold that is all in one piece. If you take it off, he's just a basic blue minifigure. But I think they did a really good job on the head mold. It's slightly rubbery. You can squish the wings. I think they did a great job on his face, his teeth, making him look like he does in the movies. I think the body torso is a little awkward with, you know, how long his arms are and his legs, but it is LEGO. I think they did the best that they could in this situation. Alrighty, moving on to the last minifigure of the set, definitely my least favorite, young Anakin Skywalker. Like I was saying before, the small legs and the big body, I've always found to be a bit awkward. I mean, he just looks, his arms just look so long in my opinion compared to the rest of his body. His hair is also quite big. Maybe they could have gone a different route with that, but he does come with back printing, which is a nice touch, and his head has two faces, this little sad one and the smiling happy one, which I prefer. you know, he was in the scene in the movie when Darth Maul and Qui-Gon Jinn fight. So if you wanted to recreate the scene and whatnot, I think that'd be a little nice touch. But, you know, basic, little awkward looking, but another minifigure in the set. So moving on to the ship, it actually is quite a bit bigger than I was expecting. I mean, it's at least a foot and a half long, and it's pretty wide. And I was really pleased by that, actually, because it just adds to the effect, I feel. Looking in the front, it actually has quite a few features. So if you lift this flap up, and you can see inside there some Separatist probe droids. And there's actually a switch on the back where you press it down. These little Separatist probe droids come out. A nice little detail. I understand that previously it used to just be a black minifigure head, but now they're actually buildable, which I think is quite cool. So this flap on the bottom flips up pretty easy. These guys are a little tough to get in. You got to put them in sideways like so. Not that big of a deal. I don't really care. I know some people did when I was looking online, but to me, it's not that big of a deal. Now opening up these two flaps, which is also pretty cool, you get Darth Maul's speeder bike. So you can take that out. Kind of an odd looking thing. It's got a flat bottom, so when you place him in it, he moves around a bit, so you do have to attach his hands. But I like to flip it up, flip the front up a little bit, give it a little more, I don't know, speeder effect. Decent. I think it adds to the set. You know, it was in the movie scene and whatnot, so I think it's pretty cool. It's also pretty cool to have a compartment like that inside a ship like this. So you can just place them right back there. There's a little slot this goes into, and then you just move these back. Good as new. Looking at the underside, there are the two ski sled props that I like to call them, and one clear prop to rest on the back, so it rests level. These actually do pop up, so if you're flying around with it, or you have it on a stand where it's given the effect of flying, these will pop up and make it look nice. And while I still have it up, we'll move on to the wings. So if you look down the ship like that, these wings actually do pop out. I believe you're supposed to click them up twice to get the desired effect of the curvature of the wings. They actually put these round pieces here to give it a little more curved look, I think. I think when you're looking down the ship, it looks pretty good. I think it's cool, and I think it resembles the movie and the ship quite nice. So if you want to place it back down, click the wings in really easy, go back to the front, put the props down, good as new. Now moving on to the back side of the ship, probably the coolest part, most intricate. You do have these flick fire missiles, which actually go quite far. And his cockpit opens pretty specially. You take the first flap off, the top flap, you can see inside of there. I got his chair backwards, but there is a spot for his lightsaber here and his binoculars over there, if you can see that. And then taking down this back, I quite like, because it kind of looks like stairs or a ramp leading up to his cockpit, you know, that his little minifigure can walk up. Chair spins around, you can place him in there, hook him up. There's actually, you can't see him that well on the camera, but on the underside of these two red bricks, there are monitors. I'm not sure if you can see that on the camera, but I really like the vibe of the inside of the cockpit. Red, gray, black. I think it goes along well with Darth Maul's, you know, persona. The only thing I don't really like is this little piece sticking out there. I think they could have done something a little different with that, but honestly, it's no big deal. These pieces also do slide out for a little extra access when you're placing him in his ship. So overall, I think it's a pretty solid set. I know it got some flack online for the price and the how many pieces it had. I know I wanted it really bad, and I actually had a vote with some of my friends on my Snapchat. And this set, out of all the rest I had on there, which was an AT-AP, a Headhunter, and the AT-ST from the Mandalorian, it got the most votes, actually. A lot of people like it, I think mostly due to Darth Maul, and it's kind of mysterious because, I mean, you don't really see it in the movies that much. I personally love it. I know there's a bit of controversy around it, like I said, but overall, I think it's a great build. I think LEGO did a great job. I know they've remade it a couple times. I definitely think this is the best looking remake they've done. Just the whole design, it's sleek. I think these stickers up on the front give it a little bit of personality and a little bit of, I don't know, curvature or accents that you wouldn't get without the stickers there. I think they might have been able to do a little more with the speeder bike, like I was saying. Maybe making it easier to put the Separatist droids in, but those two details aren't really that big. Overall, it's a great build. So let me know what you think about it down below. You know, like, share, and subscribe. This is my first video. I'm trying to start this YouTube thing out as a hobby. We'll see where it takes me, but right now I'm having fun. I'm here for the ride. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks. See ya.